Hello and welcome back to Bible Wit and Bible Corner. Today we're going to continue in Acts chapter 27. I'm going to read verses 28 through 36, starting with the English Standard Version. So they took a sounding and found 20 fathoms. A little further on, they took a sounding again and found 15 fathoms. And fearing that we might run on the rocks, they let down 4 anchors from the stern and prayed for day to come. And as the sailors were seeking to escape from the ship, they had lowered the ship's boat into the sea under pretense of laying out anchors from the bow. Paul said to the centurion and the soldiers, "Unless these men stay in the ship, you cannot be saved." Then the soldiers cut away the ropes and the ship's boat and let it go. As day was about to dawn, Paul urged them all to take some food, saying, "Today is the 14th day that you have continued in suspense and without food, having taken nothing. Therefore I urge you to take some food, for it will give you strength, for not a hair is to perish from the head of any of you." And when he had said these things, he took bread, and giving thanks to God in the presence of all, he broke it and began to eat. Then they all were encouraged and ate some food themselves. New Century Version. So they lowered a rope with a weight on the end of it into the water. They found that the water was 120 feet deep. They went a little further and lowered the rope again, and it was 90 feet deep. The sailors were afraid that we would hit the rocks, so they threw 4 anchors into the water and prayed for daylight to come. Some of the sailors wanted to leave the ship, and they lowered the lifeboat, pretending they were throwing more anchors from the front of the ship. But Paul told the officer and the other soldiers, "If these men do not stay on the ship, your lives cannot be saved." So the soldiers cut the ropes and let the lifeboat fall into the water. Just before dawn, Paul began persuading all of the people to eat something. He said, "For the past 14 days, you have been waiting and watching and not eating. Now I beg you to eat something. You need to stay alive. None of you will lose even one hair off your heads." After he said this, Paul took some bread and thanked God for it. And before all of them, he broke off a piece and began eating. They all felt better and started eating too. Okay, so with this passage here, we've got a couple of things going on. We have the crew starting to get real super antsy. They're fearing for their lives, even though Paul had just said a little bit ago, none of your lives will be lost. They're still fearing that the ship is going to crash into rocks and they're going to be left drifting in the sea. So they throw the anchors. A few of them try to sneak off and drop a lifeboat. Here's something interesting that I found in this passage. Paul told the centurion and other soldiers, the commanding officer and other soldiers, that, hey, if these people do succeed in getting on that lifeboat and leaving, I can't protect you guys. You guys will lose your lives. Okay. So and we see that they cut the ropes, but initial reaction would be, at least to me, my initial reaction would be, okay, how, this is not something humans can control. This weather, we can't do anything about it. How can you control it? How can you keep us safe from it? Would be my initial reaction if I were not a Christian. However, being a Christian, I would understand, hey, yes, we humans cannot control this. God can. God can control what these waves do to this boat, where these waves push this boat to keep it away from the rocks. Yeah, they're getting into shallower and shallower water, but God is still guiding the boat without these people's knowledge. So, and then the other thing, 14 days without eating. They've been watching the storms, watching how the boat has been going here and there, and just waiting to see what would happen. They've been doing all that without eating anything. So Paul says something very simple here. Hey, guys, stop worrying about this and eat something. You will feel better. And guess what? They do. So food is something that can help keep people calm. At least that's one thing I get from this. It is something that calm, comforting. It's something that we can rely on even in times of stress. So that's how I view that on the food part of this. So with all of that being said, if we are on a voyage in our Christian walk and we fear that we're getting ready to run aground, it is not wise to abandon ship. It is wise to stay on the ship to see where God can provide an opening to get us onto the path that we need to be on. And it is wise to eat not just physical food, but spiritual food, so that we can comfort our physical selves, comfort our spiritual selves, and stay focused on God. I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.